Well, we are headed into September now, so that means we are officially into National Sewing Month. And what that also includes is National Sew a Jelly Roll Day on the third Saturday of the month. So why not take those forces and combine them and do a little special National Sewing Month, National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, prequel kickoff. So I received a jelly roll from one of you awesome viewers, and it's kind of been sitting around waiting to be used. And I considered doing the chill out pattern from Moda, the Zen Chic design, and I don't know, I changed my mind on it after I bought the fabric. But as I was cruising through the Project Jelly Roll patterns from last year, I found a great pattern that I'm excited to use. So this is a free pattern from Moda. It was one of their 4 patterns released for National Sew a Jelly Roll Day last year, and I decided I'm gonna do it. So let me show you that pattern. So here is our pattern we're gonna do. It's half step. And so it's very kind of log cabin-esque, if I say so myself. It looks like it's just building on this little center block here. So it's gonna kind of stair step out. And I was glad to see it in kind of other colorways because I don't think that I'm gonna be able to pull off this like almost monochromatic mermaidish look, which I like a lot, but this kind of look is probably what I'm going to end up with my jelly roll, and still have my same background fabric, which is what it's calling these squares. And so I'm excited to get this going. I think it's going to be a quick project. I think it's going to be a fun project, but it'll be a jelly roll themed project. So let me show you that jelly roll that I'm talking about. It is very appropriate themed for National Sewing Month and National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, so it's very sewing themed. So I'm excited to get these all out of the package, and instead of choosing like a white or a basic neutral for the background, I went with yellow because I felt like looking at it, there was no yellow. Like the yellow in here is a little bit more on the gold side with these oranges, but I felt like this was gonna go in there quite nicely. So I think it's gonna be a good background. There might even be enough to do my binding, but if not, I've got some of this to do my binding. So lots of sewing all together, very thematic for the month. And so I'm gonna go clear off my cutting table because it has been a collector of thread recently. So I'll meet you right over there and we'll talk about the measurements, see what we're cutting, and see how we're gonna get this all laid out. Okay, so for my first part of this half step quilt pattern, I am gonna cut the background because I've already got it all nice and ironed out. So from that, I need to cut 6 4.5 inch with the fabric strips, and then I'm gonna cut those strips into 36 4.5 by 6.5 inch rectangles. So let's go ahead and do that. So I switched gears with my sorting. I decided that I was just going to cut everything first and then I would sort later because it's late and my brain's not working so much. So now I have my short ones, my medium ones, my long ones. I did go ahead and press the fold out of these ones the best I could after I cut them. So they're probably slightly bigger than 10.5 that they're supposed to be. But now I can go ahead and start playing. So maybe what I'll do is start making some piles. I don't know. I'm clearly going to overthink this, even though it could just be super simple. I don't know. Maybe I do want to do just the same fabric through the whole thing. That could be kind of fun. would it get boring? I don't know. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. And then I don't have that fabric on the top over here, so we'll pretend that blue one. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna go to sleep for now and then come back to this and we'll figure out what we want to do. Alright, so I changed my mind for like the 100th time. I'm just gonna start sewing these on and then iron them, and then I'm gonna lay them all out and kind of just scatter things out and kind of just build and scatter from there. So I could try and make everything spread out, but I feel like that's gonna not be as scrappy as I intend it to be. So we're just gonna go for it. So everything here is all ironed out flat. I may need to go through and trim them. Confession, with these type of log cabin blocks, I always get so in the zone that I'll sew everything and then it won't get to like the very end that I'll trim. I trimmed it at this row before I sewed this one on, so this section in here may be a little wonky, but now it's time to get this all laid out on the design wall once I double check that they are all 10.5 inches square, and then make a quilt top. So it'll be, there's 36 of them, so it'll be 6 across, 6 down, and then we will follow the half step layout. So here's what we ended up with. I really don't want to overthink it too much because I could spend forever rearranging these, so I just kind of slap them up there. And I think they're going to turn out really good. So now it's time to take them off the wall, sew them into strips, sew our strips into a quilt top, and then it'll be all done for today.
here is the result of that half step. It is all done and clearly a little too big for my current design walls situation, but I think it turned out really cool. I really like how the scrappy look is with all the batiks, and I think because this is a rectangle, it kind of gives it a little more flexibility and a little bit of a buffer for these to kind of be off a little bit more in some spots. This is just me speaking for my own personal lack of trimming up, but I am quite pleased with this. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a closer look so you can see all the bright, fun kind of stair-stepping through, and then we're going to come back and quilt this next time.